Welcome to the Human Curious, where every mystery is just the beginning. Here we dive into the wonders of science, history, and the unknown, one story at a time. Subscribe, share, and like for more mind-bending stories that will challenge what you think you know. Let's get curious together. The night was a velvet ink, a canvas stretched taut across the cosmos. It was a night promising only the familiar silence of space. Across the West Java highlands, the air was crisp, carrying the scent of pine and damp earth, a stark contrast to the sterile environment within the observatory. At Bosscha Observatory, a sentinel of science against the vast unknown, its white dome stood in stark contrast to the inky sky. Dr. Rina Sari worked alone, a solitary figure amidst a labyrinth of wires and humming machinery. Surrounded by the hush of sleeping Earth, the world outside held its breath, unaware of the drama unfolding within the observatory walls. The Zeiss telescope stood silent, a giant eye patiently scanning the heavens, its gaze fixed on the moon, a celestial body that has captivated humanity for millennia. But Rina wasn't looking through the lens, lost in the familiar beauty of the lunar landscape. She was listening, her focus drawn to the subtle whispers of the cosmos, her radio instruments tuned to the moon, meticulously calibrated to capture the faintest of signals, expecting routine static, the predictable hum of background radiation. Night after night it was the same. Instead, a strange pattern emerged, a deviation from the expected monotony. It wasn't cosmic background noise, the random echoes of the Big Bang, or a distant pulsar, the rhythmic pulse of a dying star. The signal was structured, rhythmic, defying all known natural phenomena. Almost like a heartbeat, a steady, persistent pulse emanating from the silent void. Rina's heart raced, mirroring the strange rhythm echoing in her headphones as she filtered out interference, desperately trying to isolate the source. Isolating the impossible sound, a sound that challenged everything she knew. The signal was real, undeniably present despite its improbable nature. Coming from the lunar surface, from the desolate cratered landscape of the moon, she worked for hours, obsessed, driven by a mixture of scientific curiosity and growing unease. As the signal revealed layers, a complex tapestry woven from radio waves, of overlapping modulations, intricate patterns that defied simple explanation. It was a chorus, a symphony of unknown origin, not a single voice but a multitude of sounds interwoven into a cohesive whole. Alone in the dome, surrounded by the cold steel of her instruments, Rina felt the moon watching her, a silent observer of her frantic efforts. A symbol of mystery now speaking, breaking its age-old silence. The signal strengthened briefly, a tantalizing glimpse of clarity amidst the chaos. A single thread separating from the noise, a fragile connection to the unknown. It was weak, distorted, barely audible above the background hum, but undeniably there. A persistent whisper that could no longer be ignored. Rina hovered over the recording controls, her finger trembling above the button. Breath held, caught between disbelief and exhilaration. She was trained for skepticism, taught to question everything, to demand proof. But awe, a primal sense of wonder, threatened to overwhelm her scientific rigor, and fear crept in, a chilling premonition of the unknown consequences. The moon was speaking, and its voice was both beautiful and terrifying, and she was the only one listening, the sole witness to this extraordinary event. The observatory's ancient dome groaned, a symphony of creaks and whispers that seemed to echo the lunar signal. Echoing her shiver, a physical manifestation of the profound mystery unfolding before her. The impossible had become real, and the universe would never look the same again. The voice that emerged from the static was faint, barely audible. A child's voice, fragile and distant, carried on the solar winds. It crackled with the interference of cosmic background radiation, a whisper from a forgotten time. It was undeniably a girl's voice filled with the innocent cadence of youth, a tone untouched by the harsh realities of the adult world. A voice brimming with untold stories and unburdened dreams. It was her own. A chilling recognition dawned as the familiar inflections echoed through the room, a ghost from her past resurrected by the cold vacuum of space. Rina froze, every muscle in her body locking in place, paralyzed by the impossible revelation. Time seemed to warp and bend around her, the present moment dissolving into a sea of fragmented memories. Recognizing a secret she'd whispered as a child, a moment of childish mischief and blame, falsely accusing the family cat for a broken vase, a transgression long buried in the recesses of her mind. The moon, it seemed, had recorded her every word, every fleeting thought, every whispered secret under its watchful gaze. A silent sentinel preserving the echoes of human experience. Her secret, spoken alone decades ago in the privacy of her childhood bedroom, a space she believed to be her own, was now echoing back across the vast expanse of time and space, a ghostly reminder of a past she thought she had left behind. The waveform, analyzed with scientific precision, matched her childhood voice perfectly, an irrefutable confirmation of the impossible. The realization was staggering, a paradigm shift that shattered the foundations of her understanding of the universe. The moon was not just a celestial body but a silent witness to the entirety of human history. Myths and legends once dismissed as fanciful tales suddenly made sense. Humanity had always instinctively sensed the moon's role as a keeper of secrets, a silent guardian of forgotten truths. What if that wasn't just a metaphor, but a literal truth etched into the fabric of reality? The moon heard everything, every utterance, every sigh, every unspoken desire. Every whispered promise exchanged under its silvery glow, every hushed confession whispered in the darkness, every act of betrayal committed under its watchful light forever etched into its lunar memory. Rina's world tilted on its axis, the familiar landscape of her reality warped and twisted into something alien and incomprehensible. The rigid boundaries of logic collided violently with the ethereal realm of myth, shattering her preconceived notions of what was possible. She looked up at the moon, a celestial body she had always taken for granted, no longer comforted by its familiar presence, but filled with a profound sense of unease. It was no longer a passive observer but an active participant, an all-seeing eye, a cosmic recorder documenting the human drama. It held not just her secret, that childish indiscretion from so long ago, but the collective secrets of everyone who had ever lived, a vast and unknowable ocean of hidden truths. The weight of that truth pressed down on her, a crushing burden of cosmic proportions that threatened to suffocate her. The moon was a silent archive, a cosmic library containing the complete and unedited history of humanity, written in whispers and shadows. She was the first to truly understand, the first to glimpse the terrifying truth hidden in plain sight. The world she knew, the world she thought she understood, was irrevocably gone, replaced by a reality far stranger and more unsettling than she could have ever imagined. The moon was no longer silent, its secrets were beginning to unravel, its voice echoing across the cosmos. It remembered everything, every moment, every secret, every triumph, and every failure of humankind. Rina sought a scientific explanation for the impossible. Radio telescopes collect faint cosmic radio waves, but this lunar signal was different, modulated, carrying information. She theorized the moon's surface, rich in crystalline silicates, acted as a vast recording device. Piezoelectric crystals unique to the moon could store the faint vibrations of Earth's whispers as electrical charges. Over eons, these crystals became a planetary archive perfectly preserving secrets. The moon, with no atmosphere to erode or magnetic field to corrupt, was the ultimate storage medium. The signal was not a broadcast, but a ghostly resonance leakage her instruments finally detected. It was wild, but plausible enough to keep her sane. With her theory in place, Rina searched deeper. If her secret was there, what else had the moon recorded? She refined her algorithms, tuning through layers of history. She heard a Roman senator's plot, whispered prayers during the Blitz, spies in Cold War Berlin. The moon's archive was heartbreakingly human, intimate moments lost to time. Rina felt both powerful and isolated, the sole keeper of every secret ever kept. She heard dying soldiers' last words, kings' confessions, peasants' fears. The experience changed her. The world felt transparent. Every person was a locked room. The moon held the key. The power was a burden, not a gift. She was utterly alone with the truth. Days blurred together as Rina haunted the observatory. Staff assumed she'd found a new cosmic anomaly, unaware of the truth. She felt a chasm open between herself and the world. She knew the secret fears of those around her, accidentally tuning into their whispered confessions. The moon's archive revealed humanity's betrayals and rare moments of love. The burden grew heavier. She questioned her right to know. To reveal the truth would shatter civilization, but to hide it felt like betrayal. The isolation became unbearable. She walked at dawn, feeling the moon's presence as a judgmental observer. She was trapped by a truth too vast to share. The secrets of the world were now hers. The weight was crushing. She was utterly alone. Quick break from the story. Imagine you could send a message straight to the moon. What would you ask? Or what secret would you hope it keeps? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love seeing your curiosity shine as bright as the lunar surface. Now, back to our tale. A NASA alert warned of a massive solar flare. For Rina, it meant disaster. The moon's archive would be amplified. The solar storm would supercharge the lunar crystals, turning whispers into a global roar. She worked frantically, but it was too late. The moon's secrets began broadcasting everywhere: radios, phones, the internet. Confusion turned to horror as people heard their own secrets and those of others. The private became public in an instant. Chaos erupted. Relationships shattered, markets crashed, treaties dissolved. The world's architecture of trust collapsed under the weight of absolute truth. The broadcast was a jumble of every secret ever spoken. The moon's archive was unleashed. Humanity was exposed. There was no going back. In the chaos, Rena watched the world unravel. Every facade was torn down. Secrets could not be unheard. The moon, energized by the sun, forced humanity to face itself. The burden of knowing was now shared by all. Rena's isolation vanished, replaced by global shock. The power she held was gone, dispersed across humanity. Amid violence and betrayal, moments of grace appeared. Confessions, reconciliations, raw honesty. The chaos was transformative, not just destructive. The old world of secrets was dead. A new era was being born. Rena realized this was not just an end, but a beginning. Society would have to rebuild on the bedrock of truth. The Great Unburdening was a test for all. Humanity was being remade. The future was uncertain, but honesty was now unavoidable. Amidst the escalating global meltdown, a sense of impending doom hung heavy in the air. News channels blared warnings, and the digital world buzzed with anxieties. The weight of the world's problems seemed to press down on everyone, creating an atmosphere of uncertainty and fear. Rena, standing at the precipice of a monumental decision, knew what she had to do. The weight of her knowledge, the burden of her secret, had become unbearable. She understood that silence was no longer an option. Action was imperative. With trembling hands but a resolute spirit, she activated a live feed, preparing to address the world. The glow of the monitor illuminated her face, reflecting the gravity of the moment. In an instant, her face appeared on screens worldwide, transmitted across continents via satellite. The world watched, unaware of the revelation that was about to unfold. Calm and resolute, despite the storm raging within, she began to speak, her voice steady and clear. "My name is Dr. Rena Sari. I am a radio astronomer at Bosscha Observatory. I have dedicated my life to understanding the cosmos, to unraveling the mysteries of the universe." She explained the lunar crystals, their unique properties, and the implications they held for the future of humanity. She detailed the recent solar flare, its unprecedented intensity, and the potential dangers it posed to the planet. She revealed the existence of the planetary archive, a repository of knowledge and secrets hidden for millennia. Then, in a moment of unexpected vulnerability, she confessed her own secret. A childhood lie about a broken vase, a seemingly insignificant act that had haunted her for years. "That was my secret. I have carried it my entire life, the weight of that small deception pressing down on me. Today, I am letting it go. I'm sorry, Mama, it was me. I broke the vase." Her small confession, a personal act of contrition in a world awash with monumental betrayals and global crises, resonated with unexpected power. It was human, relatable, a demonstration of vulnerability and acceptance that transcended the grand scale of the global crisis. It was a reminder that even in the face of cosmic events, the human heart still mattered. If she, a scientist facing unimaginable truths, could face her shame, perhaps others could find the courage to face theirs. We are all flawed. We have all hidden parts of ourselves, secrets we carry, burdens we bear. Now there is nowhere left to hide. The time for honesty is now. Her message cut through the noise, the fear and the uncertainty, a roadmap for survival built not on technology or power but on the foundation of truth, confession, acceptance, forgiveness, and a new kind of honesty, a radical transparency that could reshape the world. The world listened, captivated by her words, moved by her vulnerability. Rena's vulnerability became a beacon, a guiding light in the darkness. The first step toward healing, toward reconciliation, toward a new future was taken. The moon's secrets, once hidden and mysterious, were now everyone's burden and everyone's hope. The world had to learn to live with the truth, however uncomfortable or frightening it might be. Rena, in her unexpected act of courage, showed them how to begin. The future, uncertain as it was, would be built on the solid ground of honesty, transparency, and acceptance. The world did not end. It changed. The age of secrets was over, the moon's broadcast faded but its presence lingered. Humanity stumbled forward, bruised but cleansed. Relationships rebuilt on radical honesty, diplomacy became blunt, society was painfully reformed. We learned to live without privacy, to accept our flaws. The transition was brutal but necessary. Rena left the observatory, her work done. She saw the moon as a witness, not a threat. It had recorded our entire story, forced us to face it. The moon held up a mirror, refusing to let us look away. Our greatest moment was not in keeping secrets, but in learning to live without them. The moon continues its silent orbit, a keeper of stories, a reminder that truth always finds the light. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe to The Human Curious for more thought-provoking journeys beyond the ordinary. Share this video with fellow explorers, hit that like button to support our mission, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What would you do if all secrets were revealed? Your curiosity shapes our next adventure. Stay curious, and until next time, keep looking up.